Hey, sorry. It's been quite a morning. Sorry about that. You're still muted.
Hi. Yeah, no worries. You're here right on time. This is great.
Well, I usually hop on earlier, but
Okay.
um, hopefully we'll get some other people here and some, you know, people log in at the last minute. But I don't know, my attendance seems to be diminishing. I don't know, maybe these lunch and learns have run their course and I should stop doing them, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, either way, it was great to make a presentation because I would like to be able to give presentations elsewhere. So I appreciate the opportunity to share about what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm interested in learning more for sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I know. I'm excited to share with you. So,
And
do I
I
need
don't
to?
know if I we should talk maybe some other time unless somebody else gets on. But we've been I've been thinking a while, and I know Peggy Schultz from the League of Women Voters is interested in talk. And I don't know if you've talked with her about trying to get something going in schools like Plant Powered Fridays or
Oh, I would
um
love that.
yeah.
Love, love.
So
Peggy Schultz. Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Know her.
hopefully I don't know if I I don't know if I reminded her about today's webinar or not, but I could
Well,
text her
if
right
you're
now.
recording it, you can also
Yeah,
send it.
I guess I
Where is
should.
she from?
I'll delete all this when I post the recording. Um, she's with the League of a volunteer with the League of Women Voters,
Oh.
and they had a call. I don't know, gosh, like 6 months ago with Alan Green. What was it Alan Greenberg? And I forget who else was on the call.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, just talking about he runs the it's like the Mid-Atlantic Coalition of Physicians for Environment and Health, something like that. I
Oh.
totally probably have that wrong, but I can send it to you.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and so, they're interested in anything having to do with health and the environment and that
Oh,
intersection.
sweet. Oh, these are
Yeah.
great. Great connections.
So
So
anyway,
do
the league had a conversation about it, and it's just been something that's been on my mind because as we have our high school youth summit, and we always try to, well, it's always this, we're heading into our seventh one, and we always make it vegetarian.
Oh,
And Dr.
good.
Donahue has spoken twice.
Oh, wow.
And so we always, but some of the kids just don't get why we do it that way. And so we don't focus on it, but we do try to get the message out there about the environmental impacts of
Oh, I
dieting.
love that. That's really.
Yeah.
Now,
So,
before we go any further, is there anything you need to do to
oh,
let me?
yes, I'll just turn you on here. That should work.
So let me just go ahead and get my talk connected. I got to figure out where to share my screen and all that. So I'm not
Usually the
sure.
big green button at the bottom.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and
Um, Let me just see if I can text Peggy.
I need to put myself in presenter mode. What do you see there?
Just your logo and growing. Well, actually, I see your notes too. So,
Oh no,
and next slide. So you need to, I
that's
don't know
not
how to tell
good.
you how to do it, but there is a way to maybe just click on use slideshow. Um, there you go.
Yeah, but
Now you can't see your notes.
I can't see my notes. And I thought
And I don't know
presenter
how to
view.
tell you how to do it. There is a way to, I think there's a way to have like a split screen, but I don't know how to tell you that. Yeah.
Oh,
What does the screen thing say?
well, I thought presenter view allowed me to see my notes,
Um,
without you guys seeing it, but
Maybe
hmm.
maybe um, if you close this screen and then uh,
Mm.
try to go into presenter mode and then reshare.
Oh,
Like
good
I can
idea.
now
Okay.
I can still see them, so you have to
Oh, right, right,
unshare.
right. Yeah. Okay. How do I get out of this now?
Just
Stop share.
stop sharing the green button at the bottom, I guess. There you go.
All right,
And then
stop
make sure
share.
you're
Now
presenter,
I'm gonna
try
go
presenter mode and then reshare. I don't know if that'll work, but
presenter mode. Hmm. It's not really letting me do both. Oh well, I'll just have to wing it.
um, you can maybe if you have two windows open, like
Okay,
you
let me try to open another
and
window.
then minimize the zoom and have your other window open. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to
Hi,
do that.
everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
We're just trying to figure out the screen share issue and hopefully a couple minutes get some other folks logged in. Hey, Chuck, how are you? Long time no see.
Hmm.
Does that work, Kat, where you have kind of just
Hmm. I don't know.
kind of make the Zoom window small and make and then also have your PowerPoint open so you can see your notes?
I have both. Here, I think I have a workaround.
Do you really have 133 slides?
Oh, it'll go fast. You'll see.
I was gonna say that's a lot of slides.
I know. It's because I go through them fast. I know you're like, oh no. No, it's gonna be fast. No, I think I'll just have to wing it. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay, first I gotta share.
That works on our end. I don't know
Okay,
if you have it the way you need it at your end, but
not exactly, but
all right. Well, welcome everyone. It's high noon, so I guess we'll get underway. And hopefully some more folks will trickle in as usually happens. Um, for those of you who might not know me, I'm Dee Durham, the chair and co-founder of Plastic Free Delaware, and you may be wondering what today's talk is all about, but hopefully you're all aware of the environmental impact of our human diet on the environment. So that's definitely a piece of what Kat is going to cover with sort of a relatively new nonprofit to Delaware, Plant Powered Delaware, which was formed in 2019 and to support plant-based diets and movement in that direction because of its environmental benefits and its human health benefits and so on. So we will obviously learn more about that today, and I'm pleased to welcome Kat Samworth here with us today to share their mission and what they're doing and why. She has been on the board of Plant Powered Delaware for 2 years and is their current president. So, Kat, why don't I go ahead and turn things over to you?
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me here, Dee. And for all of you who are joining, I'm excited to share with you about Plant Powered Delaware. But first, I just wanted to acknowledge Plastic Free Delaware and all the awesome things that you guys are doing for the environment and for our state. I really just love all the different initiatives, including this one that I just found out was actually first started by one of Jane Goodall's Roots and Shoots programs, which I was super excited to see that because I just heard about that recently. After Jane Goodall's passing, I've learned more about the Roots and Shoots, and this is one of her quotes. The small choices we make each day can lead to the kind of world we all want for the future. And I think that's true for Plastic Free Delaware as well as Plant Powered Delaware. So, Plant Powered Delaware, we are growing the plant-based movement in Delaware. And just to give you a little bit of background about me, I am a Delaware native. I grew up in Wilmington, went to Brandywine High School, went to UD, became a physical therapist, and worked in the Red Clay School District for many years. In 2017, without going into details, I went plant-based for a number of reasons. In the same year, I became a certified health coach at UD, so I got interested in nutrition. And in 2023, I found out that the First Unitarian Church was hosting all these vegan potlucks, and I was super excited about that. So I started going to the church and I joined the Environmental Justice Task Force there. And in 2024, I joined Plant Powered Delaware, their board, and just recently in June, I became president. So I want to know a little bit more about you all. If you could either just raise your hand or put something in the chat or unmute. Who here has 100% of your meals are plant-based? So you can just raise your hand or unmute. Anybody here? Nope. Okay.
We
So,
got one, Danielle.
oh, we do. Oh, okay. I see. Okay. I didn't see that one. Okay. Yeah. So we have Danielle, Cheryl,
And
Chuck,
John
and
put a yes in the chat. Sorry, Kat.
Dee, and John. Okay. Awesome. So we have two. Perfect. How about this? Any of you 75 to 90% of your meals, would you say, are plant-based? Or how about 50 to 75%? D, okay, cool, awesome. And then maybe less than 50%. Okay, just kind of getting to know everybody. Chuck, are you there? I don't see a person there. Hopefully he'll be joining us. All right. So, of the group, how many of you want to eat plant-based more often? Anybody interested in trying to eat more plant-based? All right. D, you are. And so what is your why? Like want why do you think that's a good idea?
For me personally, it's based in the environmental impacts and just the ethical aspects of um, you know, domestic farming of or animals or even wild caught animals.
Gotcha. Okay. That's those are some good reasons. All right, so I will oh, I just saw something in the chat. Let's see. Cheryl said she's 50 to 60% plant-based. Hi, Pat. And Pat's here with us too. I was just asking, oh, Peace Week, Delaware, great. I was just asking if you're interested in going more plant-based, what might be some of the reasons? So if anybody else wants to either write in the chat or
Maybe just throw them in the chat if you
yeah, throw them in the chat there if you're interested in answering. Some of you are already 100% plant-based, so it's not as much of a question for you, but those that want to go more plant-based, what might be your reason?
but those that are could say why they are.
Yeah, they could. All right, anybody? All right, well, I'm going to tell you about Plant Powered Delaware and what our reasons are. And John is saying ethics, environment, health, longevity, benefits. Yes, yes, love it. Went whole food plant-based. Beautiful. So I'll be talking to you about that. Whole food plant-based. All right. So Plant Powered Delaware has reasons for bringing more plant-based eating to Delaware. So I want to tell you a little bit about the history. Plant Powered Delaware was founded by Jane Parentazzi. You may have heard of her. She's the founder of Faithful Friends Animal Society. So she founded that in 2000, and she founded Plant Powered Delaware in 2019. So her vision was to make plant powered living a household concept in Delaware, which is a great vision, which I totally agree with. And in 2019, she met some people who agreed with her vision, and that's when Plant Powered Delaware was created. This is our present board. One of our board members is here. Danielle is here. And some of you might know some of these folks. It's a great group. All right, so why did Plant Powered Delaware form, and what are their reasons for encouraging plant-based eating in Delaware? 4 main reasons are health, the climate emergency, animal welfare, and social justice. All 4 are super important. In this talk, I'm going to focus on the health and the climate. Both super important parts. I'll start with health. So take a look at this picture. What comes to mind? Anybody have a name they would call this kind of diet? Anybody have a name for this?
Processed.
Yeah, that's indeed. Processed is good. Anybody else? There's an acronym. It's SAD. Has anybody ever heard of that? It stands for something. What could it be? Let's see. Looking in the chat. Oh, Danielle said ultra processed foods. John, you got it. You got it. John is correct. What is the standard American diet? Let's talk about that. High intake of
Fats.
Red and processed meats. Processed and fast food. I've already heard processed. Refined grains, sugary drinks and desserts. Saturated fats and oils, high calorie, low nutrient. Does that sound like a great idea? High calorie, low nutrient. Low intake of, you guessed it, fruits and vegetables. Whole grains, legumes, nuts and seeds, and fiber. All right. Well, there's another kind of diet. Some of us call it let's see, it was John, I believe, who referenced it, whole food plant-based diet. Who here can you just raise your hand? Have you ever heard of a whole food plant-based diet? Or you can put it in the chat. Danielle, yes. John. Serena has heard of it. Pat? Excellent. I love your thumbs up. That's awesome. All right. So let's learn a little bit about the whole food plant-based diet. So with this kind of diet, you have either low or no intake of red and processed meats, processed and fast foods, refined grains, sugary drinks and desserts. So it's just the complete opposite of the standard American diet. High intake of fruits and vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts and seeds, and fiber. How about that? Complete opposite. So when you take a look at both of these, you can see there's a choice. The one on the left, the SAD, processed foods, added fats and sugars, linked to heart disease, diabetes, and obesity. The whole food plant-based, rich in fiber, antioxidants, nutrients, it promotes healing and longevity. All right, so here in Delaware, we have tens of thousands of Delawareans living with chronic diseases. And it turns out that research shows that diet is one of the strongest levers we can have to prevent and even reverse many of these chronic diseases. So, which path are we going to take? Here at Plant Powered Delaware, we are trying to encourage people to take a right at this intersection instead of a left. We are we rely on evidence-based information. So these are some of the organizations that we turn to. These are some nonprofits across the US that are really doing such a great job to bring some of this information to the forefront. And we like to use this evidence-based information when we're sharing with others about diet and how it affects chronic disease and so many other things. So here's some things that are great to know. Plant-based diets can reduce cardiovascular risk factors such as blood pressure, cholesterol. They can reduce or eliminate diabetes medication needs. I mean, super amazing how people can turn around type 2 diabetes. Here's a great slide that comes directly from the Forks Over Knives people, just showing how diets that are higher in fiber and lower in calorie density help to promote weight loss. So those are supposed to be like the inside of the stomach. Look at the oil here. That all you need is a tiny bit, and that's 500 calories. And then look how much you can fill your stomach with the same amount of calories. This is pretty amazing. I was not aware of the link with cancer until a couple years ago. So this is, as more and more research is being done, this is really important to know. I'll just read these out. Basing our diets around plant foods like vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and beans, which contain fiber and other nutrients, can reduce our risk of cancer. That's awesome. So the other thing that I've learned in the last couple of years is that processed meat, like bacon and pepperoni, things like that, are actually a class 1 carcinogen. They actually have been shown to cause cancer, which I think that's an important thing for people to know. I didn't know it until more recently, and it seems like a lot of people just eat these things as if, that's just what people eat, but I think it's important to know that. All right, let's move on to the environmental impact of our diet. So this is an interesting slide that I came upon. So if you look at a meat diet compared to a vegan diet, and the greenhouse gas emissions with the dietary pattern, for those who care about the environment, this is a significant difference, significant, that you can decrease your greenhouse gas footprint by eating a plant-based diet. And what about water? So this is pretty sobering as well. A pound of beef requires 1,800 gallons of water to create. A pound of lentils, 300 gallons of water. So see the difference there. There's a lot of these. I just chose this one as it's pretty significant difference. There's so many more like this showing this kind of difference of saving water. So in general, going plant-based can cut your water footprint up to 50%, which is a lot. And this is something to think about. With less livestock, you would have less pollution of rivers and aquifers. This is a real issue that continues to plague our waterways. And of course, there's the forest cutting issue. So in order to have a large amount of livestock, you also have to have many, many fields to feed them. You have to have crops to feed them. So there's many forests being cut down in order to create room for these crops and livestock. And as I think, all are aware, it's not helping our environment. It's really putting us in a lot of danger. So this is an important thing to be aware of. And in general, this article I was reading, its title says it all here. Animal agriculture, not fossil fuels, is the leading cause of climate change, which again, I think is something not everybody is familiar with. Everybody thinks it's, about driving the cars, and that's important, but this is really important too. So I think it's, generally speaking, it's awesome to adopt a plant-based diet. It's a win-win for your health and for the planet. So our vision at Plant Powered Delaware, this is kind of an abbreviated vision, is we want to see a Delaware that is healthy and compassionate and sustainable and powered by plants. So I just wanted to share a little bit about what we're doing, trying to bring plant-based eating to Delaware. Generally, consciousness raising, giving talks like this one. There's other talks that we are giving. Danielle, who's here on this call, has been giving a couple of talks as well. We're starting to, we're a relatively new organization, so we're just getting off the ground with that. But I appreciate having this opportunity to do this talk. Going to community events. So this was at the Delaware Vegan Fest. So having tables at different community events is a great way to interact with people and get people to learn more about the power of plants. And I'm super excited about the Youth Environmental Summit coming up. We are going to be having a table there. And I just love the idea of bringing in young people. I think it's just such a great opportunity to connect with them. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. So we're having a table there in February. Thank you, Dee. Here's another really kind of cool thing that we found out recently. This past May, Matt Meyer created Delaware Food is Medicine. It's it's a committee actually where they're wanting to shift healthcare from reactive treatment to proactive prevention and making food a more formal part of medical care. How about that? So when I read about that, I was just really excited to think that, you know, in Delaware, we might have leadership at the top that's really interested in moving in that direction. So some of us at Plant Powered Delaware, we went to the last meeting, and they give you 1 minute to speak as, you know, a person from the public coming to the meeting. So we weren't exactly prepared last time to say everything we wanted to say, but this time we're going to try to have a few of the board members come and just say, you know, talk about Plant Powered Delaware and find out ways that we can partner up with them. So that I find that really exciting. Here's another thing we're doing. We're coming up on our 4th coaching program. We call it Plant Empowered Delaware. So we're helping to educate and create community around plant-based eating, specifically whole food plant-based eating. So the next one is coming up in January. If you're interested or you know anybody that's interested, please let me know. We'd love to have you. They've been just great. People love, it's in person, which, you know, really makes a difference. It's great to be on Zoom, you know, but I think all of us just really crave that in-person connection. So it's really been a great opportunity to help people move towards more plant-based eating. Here's some pictures of some of the groups we've had. Everybody looks so happy, and they are. A lot of them made some amazing changes in their metrics, like blood pressure and cholesterol, and just feeling great, some losing weight, different things like that. Really great, exciting coaching program. This is the one coming up. Right, so I just wanted to tell you, if you're interested, here's our website, by the way. It's called Plant Powered Delaware, altogether.org. Feel free to go to our website and take a look. And under initiatives, you'll see our coaching program. We call it Plant Empowered Delaware. So you can sign up or take a look. Feel free to do that. Here's something else that one of our board members, Stephen Sheehy, had the idea of getting Dr. Neil Barnard from Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine to come talk to Delaware. He had a new book coming out, The Power Foods Diet, and he's a big proponent of the whole food plant-based diet. So that's something else that we're doing, is bringing in speakers, trying to educate people. This particular event happened at First Unitarian Church, and it was very well attended. The place was filled up, and it was really exciting to see so many people interested. And yeah, that was a really fun event. And Danielle, who's here on the call. Uh, Danielle came from Brooklyn. So I think, Danielle, you've just been here for about a year. She joined our board recently, and she had been working with a group in New York called Plant Powered Metro New York. It's kind of a long way to say, but they're also, have some of the same ideas that we have, but they've been at it for quite some time, and they're real organized and have just wonderful programs. And Danielle has been part of them. In addition, Danielle has her own business called Fit and Play Mama, where she does plant-based cooking classes for kids and for adults as well. So these are some of the things that we have been up to. Everybody loves the cooking classes and cooking demonstrations. That's something we do as part of our coaching class as well. The community potlucks. We've been partnering with the Environmental Justice Task Force of the First Unitarian Church of Wilmington to have these potlucks, and they have been a big hit. We just had one the other night, this past Sunday, and there were 70 people there. So the movement is growing, and Plant Powered Delaware wants to kind of capitalize on this idea of community and the potlucks, and maybe bring in some speakers, maybe do some educational things there, maybe some cooking demos, things like that, to try to make this happen even more often. Right now, there are about 4 or 5 of these a year, and we're thinking of trying to make it monthly, but we'll see. We're still developing a volunteer group to work on this. So if you're interested in any of this or working with Plant Powered Delaware, helping us volunteer, you have any questions, here's my email address. It's ktsamworth@gmail.com. Do not hesitate to reach out to me. Would love to be in touch. So I'd be glad to answer any questions or open up any kind of discussion for whoever is interested.
That's awesome. Thanks, Kat. You hopefully inspired me to do better, because as I did not raise my hand when you said who's 100%, but we definitely have changed in our household over the last 5-10 years, and
Oh, that's awesome.
we're on the spectrum, I'll say.
Hey,
heading in that direction.
Everything starts with one step, right?
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
So if we all shifted a little bit, I think it would be a huge win for the environment and our own health and everything. So, and I was telling, Kat mentioned, yes, I just wanted to emphasize that at our youth summit in February, it is a vegetarian event. We serve all attendees, the kids, students, and everyone else, a breakfast and lunch that is totally vegetarian, and for the reasons that Kat covered. And Dr. Donahue has spoken twice before at Yes. And of course, for Yes, we're trying to emphasize the environmental aspects, and bring that message to the youth, Delaware's high schoolers. I guess one question I had is, certainly when I was growing up, Kat, which was way too many years ago, I don't remember anyone ever in my schools being vegetarian or vegan. Do you know what the number is today, like nationally? How many people consider themselves
vegan or completely plant-based? It's a really low number. Danielle, do you have any?
But certainly it's much more than it was 20, 50 years ago.
Yeah, oh, it's definitely more, but it's still pretty low. I don't have those numbers. I could look that up, but
yeah, I was just curious.
Vegetarian might be like 5%, whereas completely plant-based is probably closer to 1% or something like that. But yeah, I never even thought about it growing up. This is just a very recent in my life, like I said, 2017, it's not that long ago. I hadn't really thought about it. You're just doing what everybody else is doing and you don't really think about things. And that's why with Plant Powered Delaware, we want to have consciousness raising of like bringing this awareness to people of its effects on your health, like huge effects. And also, the environment and then the animals and also for social justice reasons. So it's yeah, it's super important.
Anybody else have any questions out there? Come on, you guys, you must have some questions. Pat, I see you
Or
hesitating.
or just
Or
a
a point
comment.
to
It's
make,
fine. You don't have to ask a question. You could just comment
or
on
make a
your
comment.
thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My comment is that it's somewhat difficult being married to a extreme carnivore.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, like baby steps. I mean, I I hear you. My husband was, I wouldn't call him extreme carnivore, but was definitely more interested in eating animal-based products, and now he's pretty much completely plant-based. He's seen the changes in his health, and he's learned about some of the other important reasons. And so I never thought he would change like that. And so you never know. Like baby steps. Um, okay, Daniel said, I think those numbers are correct. Around what I said, like 1% for completely
For vegan.
plant-based and around 5% for vegetarian. Um, Joanna is agreeing with Pat with the situation with, I guess, her husband or her
Yeah, I
partner.
think it's sorry not to interrupt you there,
Oh,
but
you're
I think
good.
in the male culture, I think there's a lot of people who think that if you're on a
Yeah.
plant-based diet, you're not going to be getting the nutrients, or the big one is protein,
Yep.
which is absurd when you actually boil it down and you actually look at your micro and macronutrients on a
Oh,
daily
yeah.
basis.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is. I think it's just I don't know if it's male culture, and maybe I'm just being a little facetious, but
No, it's
yeah,
true.
it's so easy. It's so easy to get protein on a plant-based diet, and
It is.
yeah, I think if people actually really took the time to actually take a look at it, there's tons. We have so much information available. Like anybody with a smartphone or anybody with a laptop or Google accessible can just do this at home. You know,
Absolutely.
um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I feel that too, and I have these conversations all the time with my family and with my friends,
Mhm.
and like you said, it's baby steps.
Yeah.
Getting your diet to transform to the whole food plant based. Sorry, I'm catching some wind here.
No, no, thank you so much for sharing that. And I just want to put a shout out to one of the documentaries called The Game Changers. If you could possibly talk your husband into watching The Game Changers, it really shows. I mean, it has one of these bodybuilders on there that's like unbelievably like huge and strong, and he's completely plant-based, and
Yeah,
it
he was like
helps.
Germany's strongman in 2014. Patrick,
Yeah.
his last name's escaping me, but yeah, he's on that. There's a lot of plant-based athletes. Like people would actually be surprised, but yeah, Game Changers is a
Yes.
really, really good one to look at.
Yeah.
And can I also add on that for Pat, and I deal with a lot of clients that have that same situation on one one partner wants to eat more healthier and plant-based, and the other one wants to eat a more standard American diet. And so all you can do is really just make the foods that you want. And as you are improving your health and you're seeing that there's a difference, a lot of times your partner will look at you and be more curious about it. So if you can be the role model
Yep.
and just know that you're by you doing this, you're changing how he's thinking about food as well without saying it in his face, because you can only lead somebody to the water, like the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink it. So it's just a matter of just being that role model and showing that you are feeling great. I mean, when you really change your diet and shift this way, the amount of energy and vitality that you gain is just, it really, you can't, he'll see it. He'll
Yes.
see it and he'll be interested a lot more.
Yes. I totally agree. It can be really hard to, you want the person to change, but everybody has to change at their own rate and with their own, it kind of has to be their idea as well. So humans don't like other humans telling them what to do. It's just one of those things I learned in coaching school. That was probably the best thing I learned in coaching school is you
And
can't
it's hard if
tell
you've lived that
people.
way for 50, 60 years or
Yeah,
whatever. It's
it
so
is.
very difficult change to just do it
Absolutely.
cold turkey, say. Um,
Absolutely. And that's why, gradually learning about it, making gradual shifts in your diet, like we like to talk about crowding out, like bringing in more of the healthy diets rather than talking about all the things we're going to lose. It's like, let's see what we can add in that, some more of those fruits and vegetables or whole grains or legumes. Let's bring in more, crowd out some of the other less healthy options. So,
the
yeah,
first thing we did in our house is just cut out beef and pork
good.
um, and so we eat fish, a lot of fish and some chicken, but
Yeah.
just from the ethical point of view and the environmental, just if any of you have read what's that book? Now I'm forgetting the name of it, but he talks about eating eating close to the ground or under the ground, like anything under the ground.
Oh,
Trying
right.
to focus
What's his
your
name?
diet on things under or close to the ground as
Close to the
possible.
ground. Yeah.
So that's kind of an
I
interesting way of
love that.
thinking of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close to the ground. Right.
So
Beautiful.
the bigger the mammal, you know, the worse the impact
Hmm. Yeah.
is one way to look at it. But and so there was a question in the chat about, can a hybrid diet be effective? And so I
Oh,
guess we're
yeah.
kind of talking about that is just,
Yes.
just you don't have to go
Fully.
100% overnight.
No,
You can just
you
gradually
don't.
add changes.
Yeah, and if it's just it doesn't seem like you can go all the way with that. Like I just said, just adding in more of the healthy foods is fantastic. So yes, it can be effective, and it's um, definitely a good way to turn if you feel like you can't go the full way or somebody that you love can't. But I would like to encourage you to consider the coaching group. We try to make it like very accessible. So it's, the coaches do it on a voluntary basis. So we're not charging a lot of money for this. And it's just a great way to really learn about what you can do to adopt more of a whole food plant-based diet and in just such a really fun way. Like the we've had three of them. Every single one, by the end, everybody's really sad because they're, you know, leaving their friends that they made over the last 6 weeks. And community is a big part of it, but it's also the educational factor. And we really encourage you to do your own education too. We give you a lot of resources so you can learn yourself what needs to be done to move in the direction for your health. Um, Danielle thank you, Danielle. Perfect. She put in the chat the link if you want to go sign up for the coaching class. And you also asked Chuck about the cost. I would say a plant-based diet could easily be lower in health costs. There is a bit of a problem though, because meats are subsidized by the government. If they weren't subsidized, people would not be able to afford them at all. Fruits and vegetables are not subsidized in the same way. So you end up, having somewhat of a hefty grocery bill if you're getting a lot of fruits and vegetables. That being said, things like lentils and beans, which can be your protein source, are quite cheap, quite, very inexpensive. So I think there are definitely ways to eat a whole food plant-based diet on a budget.
And then can it also, I'm assuming with the health benefits that, Chuck, I don't know if this is what you meant as well, but with, as your health improves, your health care
Oh,
costs
lower health costs. I'm sorry,
can
I
go down.
misread
No,
that.
you're
I thought you
fine. I
just
think
meant,
both
yeah,
points are important.
yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, honestly, I have not been to the doctor. I mean, I go for my well visits, but as far as I really, I mean, I'm just one person, but I think there's a lot of evidence that shows that when you adopt a diet like this, you just don't really have some of those chronic diseases that a lot of people are just getting
Thanks,
used to.
Pat.
It's like, oh, yeah, everybody's got cancer, everybody's got heart disease, like that doesn't have to be that way. So absolutely your healthcare costs would go down if you adopt this kind of a lifestyle, for sure. Thanks for asking that. It's a great question. And exercise, yeah, for sure. Exercise is a nice, important addition. Yes, how not to die. Thank you, John. One of the organizations that I had put up on the screen is nutritionfacts.org, which is also connected to this book called How Not to Die. And Michael Greger is the author. And it's just full of evidence-based material on the whole food plant-based diet and its healthy effects and how it can prevent all kinds of diseases. And even if you have diseases, it can help to decrease them. So that's a great book. Definitely on my shelf. Yeah. Has everybody else heard of the book How Not to Die? That's a good one.
I was also talking with Pat earlier about our interest, and I know there's some other folks in Delaware interested in fostering some conversations with schools and the Department of Education on. There are other programs around the country. I think some of them started out as Meatless Mondays or Plant Powered Fridays. I think they may have I think they changed the name of Meatless Mondays, but it's still the same principle.
Yes.
But would love to help bring that to Delaware schools and get younger kids thinking about this and get
Absolutely.
the nutritionists in Delaware schools thinking about this as well.
Oh, no doubt. And you already have kind of foot in the door in the schools. You're doing the plastic-free lunch.
Mhm.
And there, Progressive Health of Delaware, there's someone that's connected to that practice that has started going around to some of the local schools to talk about the whole food plant-based diet and its effects. And Plant Powered Delaware is in conversation with them. We may partner with them to do some of these lectures and bring awareness to kids, like, middle school kids and high school kids, even elementary school. I mean, why not? I would love to see more of that happen. And I'd love to see where we could go with that, for sure. There's so many directions. I just stepped into this role in June, and already, there's a lot of interest and a lot of excitement, but we also, there's only a few of us in our group. So we definitely need some volunteers and partnerships. So
Yeah, well, we'll look forward
very
to
excited to.
continuing to have that conversation with you
Yeah,
guys.
absolutely. I would be super happy to connect with you guys.
All right. Well, any other questions out there for Cad or anyone
Hi,
else or comments?
this
Oh,
is Cheryl. I don't have
Cheryl.
my video on. I suppose I could put it on, but I really hate it. So hold on a second.
It's okay. You
Do
don't
I
have
get
to.
it? Do I get a preview? I don't know if there was a I don't know if
You
you
can,
can look.
but it
Okay.
doesn't matter. It's
All
Hi,
fine.
right, there,
Cheryl.
Okay.
Hi.
So, okay, all right. So I just I've been to I really don't like a lot of meat anyway. I for a long time I really haven't, but I'm not really an activist as far as trying to change too much about myself, but I mean about the diet. So but
Yeah.
I have done I have gone listened to many food and water watch webinars, and
Oh,
I didn't even understand about factory farming until not too long ago,
right.
because I really think that they didn't used to have this, because when I was growing up, the chicken breasts were small. You had one chicken
Right.
breast and it was a little bit, and you had one pack of little chicken breasts that you got from the butcher, and your mother cooked them, and that you didn't have these huge oversized pieces of meat.
Yes.
So I realize that is not serving the same health purposes as health purpose as all of going completely plant-based. But the this fact, since I was become aware of this whole factory farm thing, I have not bought any meat at all that is not said from organic or sources, humane sources, and all this. Like I buy the expensive stuff, and I don't
Yeah.
worry about it. I just pay for the stuff from Sprouts or whatever it is. It says um, uh, grass fed, this and that stuff. I just rarely buy it, and the pieces are small, and you get the bones in there. The meat always tastes better when the bones are in it, and so it's not a plant-based diet, but there are things that people can do to lead a less intensively carnivore diet.
Right.
I just want to say, I don't know where this came from, all this factory farm and stuff, and can we
Right.
just go chickens in their backyard or whatever? So
I know it really has. I think when I was a kid, it's the same thing. I don't think there was even such a thing as a factory farm.
no,
It's something that has, that would be an interesting study to look at the history of how the factory farms came about. But once I learned about the factory farms, that was actually what got me. Yeah, thank you, John. Profit
Yes,
margin.
John.
well, but
That's what got me to
The
switch.
corporatization of
Was
America.
yes,
And
yes, of course.
and then also going back, I'm pretty old now, but I mean, we didn't go out to eat. We went
Right.
one time. We went to Gino's on Philadelphia Pike and sat in the carnate because it was brand new
Right.
idea, and it was expensive, and you didn't do it. And now it's much cheaper to go out, and it's so easy, and it's just, I think that personally has a lot to do with the whole obesity problem and all the stuff and
Sure.
whatever. But the
Yeah.
Food and Water Watch was really
Food and
really
Water Watch.
deep into this, because the water consequences are just terrible. Even if
Yes.
you take away the health aspect, that you're trying not to eat any meat due to the the meat clogging up your arteries and stuff, there's so many more far-ranging aspects to it, and it's just one of those mad rushes to get to the top. Like you got to eat more. People are selling the meat so cheaply in the fast food places and stuff, and then they have to grow more cattle, and there's more grazing and all this. So anyway, I just wanted to make that comment. And I also do think, from the point of view of not going, if you're like me and not willing or probably even able to remember it every day to go completely plant-based, reducing your footprint of meat and is helpful in all these ways that we're
Absolutely.
talking about. Helpful,
Yes.
and you're spending less money, you're eating more healthy, you're stuff like that. So you don't have to, it's not like an all or none. I mean, the Food Water Watch advocates this. You have to give yourself a break sometimes. But anyway.
You do. Absolutely. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
sharing that. And I totally agree. Like at Plant Powered Delaware, we're not, in this position of saying all or nothing, you have to go completely plant-based, anything like that. We're just encouraging to bring more of the plant-based into your diet. And those that have gone fully plant-based, a lot of them have great experiences.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's everybody's where they need to be and where they're comfortable. And that's just the way it is. That's just the truth. I
And Cheryl,
understand.
you remind me too, I think part of it, as you alluded to, is the fact that, um, 100 years ago, I've seen studies that have, or like just history documentation about the fact that, 100 years ago, 95% of the population lived on a farm or like 1 degree of separation from a farm. They were
Mm,
somehow involved in agriculture, whereas now
yeah,
it's like less than 5%. I think I don't know what it is, but even less than 5%. So for kids today, they grow up, or even even adults, we are so far removed from where our food comes from.
yes,
And I think that has as a piece of it too. Like we
right.
just don't even think about it. And because
Just
we
not
aren't
aware.
involved in slaughtering the cow or the chicken or
Yeah, right.
growing the vegetables. And so that, I think that's a point as well,
Yeah,
how we got here.
absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for bringing all that up.
Yeah. Good points, Cheryl. Thank you.
So, if anybody here is interested in being on our email list, I'm not going to be sending out, constant emails, but I want to be able to let people know what we're up to, and maybe there's in some way that you would like to be connected or be part of Plant Powered Delaware. Please email me, connect with me at ktsamworth@gmail.com. Let me know if you'd like to be on our email list. And also, the other way to do it would be go to plantpowereddelaware.org, and there's a place on there. That's our website. You can go to contact us there as well. So, um,
Awesome. Well, I know I'd love to be signed up, and looks
all
like some
right.
other folks would be too. So we'll be in touch, and hopefully all of us learn a little bit more moving forward.
John, do I have, can you send me your email address or?
I put your Gmail in the chat, so yeah.
Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
can you
Okay.
grab that, Kat?
Yeah, let me get that before we sign out.
I might
Thank.
already be signed up for them, but just in case.
Okay. Yeah, John, I definitely would like to connect with you. I appreciate all of your comments and
Yeah, agreed. We actually met at the Veg Fest a couple weekends ago. My fiance and I
ah.
came by the table.
Oh, I've been meaning to get in touch with you. Okay.
Here we are.
Hi. Great. And Serena, oh great. You signed up through the website. Awesome. Perfect. Yeah, so we'll be staying connected, and I think as we start to reach out to more and more people in Delaware, we're going to realize there's a lot more of us out there. That's what I've found. I seriously just a few years ago thought I was the only plant-based person in Delaware. I thought I was the only one. I just figured Delaware was one of those places that nobody cared about it, and then I found the First Unitarian Church and their vegan potlucks. And from there, I've just, at the Veg Fest, met all these people. So I really think there is a movement growing and we can continue to grow it. So I'm really excited about that. Thanks, John.
And have you ever, I can talk to you offline, but a friend of mine is good friends with Jane Essels, I can't pronounce her
Oh,
name,
really?
Esselstein
No
from,
way.
yeah, so we should talk. I can
Oh,
maybe hook you up
yes.
with them. And she comes to
Oh,
Wilmington periodically to visit. So I can connect you and maybe she could do an event for you as well.
oh, wow. That's fantastic. Yes, for sure. That sounds really exciting.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, we'll let everyone get on with their day. But Kat,
Yep.
thank you so much for being with us today and
Thank you.
sharing everything about Plant Powered Delaware and what you guys have going on. And
Thank
hopefully
you.
we'll all be more aware now and participate a little bit too.
Yeah, fantastic. It
All
was
right.
my pleasure. It was
All
super
right. Thank you.
meeting everybody. Take care.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks all.
Bye.
Bye.